Hi, I'm Trent Gustus of Keller Williams Realty. In this report, I'll talk about the condo townhome market in Calgary, average prices, days on market, and inventory supply.
To help make our stats a little bit more relevant to you, I'm going to divide up the city into different quadrants. We're going to do the inner city, the northwest section, the southwest, and what we're talking is west of Sarcee, because we would consider anything east of Sarcee to be inner city. The deep south, which would be Fish Creek, Chaparral, Mahogany, all of these south areas. And lastly, we'll do the northeast. At the end of the video, we'll go over the whole market so you can compare how your numbers match up with the overall. Okay, for the month of August, we sold 81 listings, and those listings were primarily sold between $343 and $353 a square foot. Now, our median price is always where most of the buyers are at $452 for townhomes, and they were all about 1,300 square feet. Now, we look at how that compared to July. Sales actually up from July. We sold 72 listings in July, and those prices were actually very, very similar, right on the same price range. Now, we look at last year in August, 67 sales in the same time period. So sales are definitely up for townhomes. And also prices, because last year in August we had $314 a square foot was our most popular price range, and then $399 was the average sale price, up $50,000 where most buyers were buying. That's pretty high. Now, don't take the average sale price too seriously, because that may only mean that people are buying more expensive properties. But as a matter of fact, with this price per square foot going up, for the median price $30 a square foot, that's quite a big jump. Now we look at what our inventory supply is for September. 150 active listings. That's like 2 months supply, but things may slow down a little bit in September and the fall, but we'll see. And they have no way of knowing that. Now, the inventory that's remaining on the market is priced between $377 a square foot and $389, and the buyers were really looking for properties priced at $347 to $356. Of course, the square footage range is very, very similar, but the buyers were really looking at properties priced between $450 and $476, and what's available is $516 to $592. That may not be conducive to having sales in September if the prices are a little bit higher. So now we'll move on to the northwest section. Okay, for the northwest, we had 80 townhome condos sold, and those were priced between $275 and $291 a square foot, and they were priced between $336 and $340. Now, when we look at conversely, we look at July sales, 92 sales. So sales definitely were up there a lot the month previous, but the prices per square foot were down, which means that they're selling for a little bit more money now. And now we look at how that compared to last year, 62 sales last year. So the sales for townhomes definitely up from the previous year, and up from $252 a square foot from the previous year to $275 a square foot for the median where most people are buying. So definitely the market is definitely up, yeah, for the northwest for townhomes. Now when we look at the supply of inventory, we actually have a not very much inventory available. 109 active listings and 80 sold last month, so you can see that that's not too much for people. And look at how it's priced. Most of it's priced around $330, and the buyers were looking for properties at $342, which means, and all the way up to $367, which means that it's going to be actually fairly good market up there for townhomes, because obviously they're priced well. Now the price per square foot is also kind of in the same range, where buyers bought and the median price was $275, and what's available for the most part is $288 a square foot, and then we've got an average price of $308. So and the average sale price is $291. So we're actually looking at a pretty strong market for the northwest for condo townhomes. Now we're going to move to the southwest section. We're talking west of Sarcee, Aspen, these areas, Signal Hill, and so forth. Now 36 sold listings for the month of August for the southwest, and those were priced at $312 to $315 a square foot, and they were also the average sale price was $411. The selling price very close to the list price actually. Now we compare that to last month's sales. Sales were down actually not that much, but 308 a square foot and 327 was the average. And I kind of noticed that the average was a little bit higher. That might have been created by this one sale, which sold at 647 a square foot. Might have changed the average, but when we look at the median prices where most buyers are buying, this is a little bit more stable at 308. Now we look at days on market also, 18 days on market, 21 days on market last year with 25 days on market, and we had 30 sales last year in August. So we're up 6 sales. That's not a lot, but that's what it is. So $283 a square foot last year. This year for the median, and 303 for the average. So the market's definitely up from last year. And we look at the market, the inventory supply for September, 45 active listings and 36 sold, a little bit over a month's supply. And the only thing is that it's a little bit bigger inventory and it's priced a lot higher. 474 to 512 is the asking prices for those properties, and the buyers were really looking for properties priced from 392 to 418. So and also the price per square foot, 360 to 373, and like I say, 312 to 315. So the buyers are definitely looking for properties that are priced a little bit lower. So the market, or what's left in the market, may not move in the next few months if the prices stay the same. And now we'll move to the Deep South. Evergreen, Silverado, Cranston, Mackenzie Town, all these south areas. Okay, so for the Deep South, we've got 81 sold listings, and those are priced between 273 and 276 a square foot, and the average sale price was 325 to 339. Now we compare that to last month, 80 sold listings, so it's very similar, and it was 270 a square foot last month to 276, so right around the same kind of numbers. Same kind of asking prices were a little bit lower, but that was an indication. When the market starts to move up, people sometimes increase their asking prices and they get them. So they sold them and August was a better month for sellers than July was. Now looking at last year, same amount of sales, 81 sold listings, and we've got 242 a square foot compared to 273 a square foot on the median and 247. So the prices are definitely up from last year, and most buyers were looking for properties priced at around 319. This year 344. Now we look at the inventory supply, 93 active available listings right now compared to 81 sold listings last month. And the only thing is again the pricing here. Let's look at that. Looks like the pricing is pretty similar. There's not as many lower end in the median group available. Most of the stuff is available. The median price is 339 at 291 a square foot. Buyers were really looking for properties priced at 277 a square foot and between that and 280. So it's going to be at least what's left in the market's a bit higher, and September we'll have to just see what happens as far as how the market continues for this month. And next we'll look at the northeast section of the city. Okay, so for the northeast we have 39 sold listings. They were priced between 227 and 248 a square foot, and average sale price 237. Now comparing that to last month, 43 sales, so sales dropped a little bit in August compared to July, and they were priced from 229 to 239, and so that was fairly similar, but people paid a little bit more in August and there was less sales, and they were priced a little bit higher too. Look at the list prices were higher and the sale prices were also higher. Now compare that to last year, 187 a square foot. Geez, we're up a long way compared to that. Days on market, consistently around 38 days on market. So you might think it's a really fast market, but you know what? It's pretty stable. Now we look at 24 sales the previous year, so sales are definite for August of 2014. Now we look at a September supply, 93 listings, so a little more than 2 months supply, and that's priced at 249 a square foot. The buyers were looking at properties around 236, but there's going to be some properties available because it fits right in between this mark, which means that there's still going to be continuing active market up there. So here's our overall condo inventory compared to what sold the previous month, and below 150,000 there's almost nothing to buy, and if anything comes up, of course it's going to sell quickly. That's what a lot of buyers are looking for, and the reason why there's such low numbers is just isn't anything available in those price ranges. But the 150,000 to $200,000 price group is a close race. I call this a close race because there's Not that many more than sold the previous month. Now when we get into 200 to 250, that price group, there's a fair amount of distance between those two, and there's lots available inventory to buy. And as we go up here, when we got 17 to 58, we've got a lot of supply between 500 and 550. Our real hot, our real big numbers are all here, up to about 400,000, even up to 450 is pretty heavy. Then after that, we start to see much more of an oversupply situation. I would even say that this group here from 200 to 250 is an oversupply situation, which is quite surprising for Calgary.
Realize that the market news I've just given you is based on the whole market. There's a whole other study we can do on the area that you're looking to buy or sell in. Your area may not move according to the whole market, and realize that average sale prices don't mean that a specific home would go up that percentage based on the whole market. Average sale prices sometimes mean that people are buying more expensive homes. Back when I started selling real estate, over 90% of the homes I sold were expired listings or homes that other agents couldn't sell. During that time, I learned from my clients the many frustrations that they had selling their homes.
Yeah, we had the home about, twice with some other agencies, and they couldn't sell the house. We don't know why. It's a beautiful house.
There was not any interest shown at all in our home by anybody that came and viewed it.
Too many of the other MLS realtors who'd come to show the house, they wouldn't have a clue.
We didn't get any feedback on our showing.
Last time our house was in the market about 3 months, and we've never got any offers.
It's for these reasons I have a very detailed approach on the way I sell my clients' homes. But here's what my clients had to say.
So we tried to put our townhouse up for sale October of last year, and it just wasn't selling, you could say. We had some show homes in the beginning of October, and a lot of people came, but no one really made a really decent offer, and we weren't getting any feedback. After the last 2 months, about November and December, we had no showings, no one was coming, and we weren't really hearing from our real estate agent anymore. So come January, a friend of the family told us about Trent and how, that he had helped them sell their house, and
Don't forget how we got that in the mail.
And how we got in the mail a pamphlet that said, guaranteed we can sell your home. In which case, we both decided we'd call Trent.
And give Trent a call. And Trent came in the very first day that he came to see us, and he said, well, let's look at the market. Let's see where we're sitting at in the market, and let's make a plan of how we're going to put this up so that it's more appealing than everything else in the market, in that kind of zone that people are looking for houses, in that price range, in that category, being a townhouse. And basically what ended up happening was, as soon as the house went up, exactly what we had predicted with Trent was going to happen, happened. And in a very, very short period of time,
I think it was like 1 day.
I think it was 1 day.
Yeah.
We had an offer the first day and took it. Trent gave us extremely knowledgeable advice on how to deal with the initial lower offer, and it resulted in us maintaining a lot more of our value in our house.
One of the things that I noticed was really nice about how our house sold was that there was a video that was taken for YouTube, and when we went to go see it, we fell in love with our home again, not to lie. It just, It put our home in a light where you wanted to live in it. It talked about, the great things that we loved about our home when we first walked in. Just 2 blocks down, there's another house for sale that didn't have that quality of videoing, and it didn't show the aspects of the home which we fell in love with, which we found that other people did. And watching the video, you realize that we boosted so much more of our traffic coming into the house. People who were looking at it, they already were interested before they even showed up. And right away, just from the first day, we had 3 or 4 people walk through that all wanted to make offers. And assuming if we wanted to stay on the market longer, we could have easily sold the house 5-6 times over.
Well, I think what the commercial does versus just having an MLS listing with pictures and then someone has to call and then come and see it is it takes the same thing that companies do, but he does it for you on an individual basis. Companies, when they want to sell something, you see it on the commercial while you're watching the NHL playoffs or something, and you go, this is awesome, I want it. And that's exactly what his commercial does. You see it and boom, you want it.
We had our home listed for 4 months in the fall, and it just didn't sell. We had a little interest at first, but then it just died down. After the new year, we got some information in the mail from Trent, and he was able to show us the advantages of video marketing, and he showed off our home to its best advantage. You know, it's not a show home, it's not a new home, but it's a comfortable home. And he was able to show that and get that information out to lots of people. And we had so many showings. We had, 1 or 2 showings a day. Some days we had so many showings we weren't even able to come home for meals. There was that much interest in our home. Another thing Trent was able to show us was that the market was actually good in November when we had our home listed before, and that was when there was no interest shown in ours. And there were homes selling in this neighborhood for actually less than what we got for ours just this past week. We sold it in about 4 weeks with Trent, and we're really excited to be, we got a price that we're happy with, and moving on.
This is just 2 examples, but in 13 years of marketing homes, I've got hundreds of examples of turnaround situations. High and low-end homes, fixer-uppers, show homes. I've marketed a home just like yours. So call me today for a low-pressure interview to discuss the sale of your home.